Ladies and gentlemen, I have been recommended this video a ton, and it's based on a pretty interesting topic that I think a lot of people really found interesting as well. 45K views from a 2.5K sub YouTube account. And it's all about breaking down the amazing details on Echoes. And I think that there's a big focus on a lot of the things in Renacita, a lot of the monsters, a lot of the, the references that it has to other games. And I'm excited to see what all the hype is all about. So let's just go ahead, let's get right on into it and see what this young man has in store for us. Or woman, or maybe they're old too. Well, let's just see.
In Wuthering Waves, game resources consistently seem to be utilized in uniquely specialized ways. For instance, when you command a gondola to ram into another, you'll notice that it actually has a hit reaction and even emits howls.
Hey, you maybe just don't do that. I'm pretty sure this is, I don't understand this is a fictional game, but this is still like, now I'm worried about what you do in real life, buddy.
When a little kitten by the roadside is sleeping, you can see it blowing snot bubbles. And these snot bubbles even come with sound effects. When it comes to sleeping, even dreadmanes have a bubbling effect while resting. Game designers specifically reduced their alert range for this idle animation, meaning you can get very close without triggering combat, unless you steal their food, of course. If you see several plush bears gathered together digging, there's a high chance a treasure chest is actually buried here.
Pause? Wait. Those don't show up on the loot mapper, do they? They don't. They're like legitimately just the hidden chests. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy. Hey, 5 asteroid, buddy.
These small Easter eggs may seem trivial at first glance, but they are actually a vital part of what makes the world in open-world games meaningful, and they serve as the finishing touches that enhance the game's immersion. Wuthering Waves is filled with such details. Take the monsters in Renacita, for example. Many of them have special low-health mechanisms. Take this mischievous chest mimic. When its health is nearly depleted, it becomes so enraged that it literally explodes. Additionally, if you successfully parry it, even if it's at full health, it will still explode out of rage and die on the spot. Moreover, the coins that pop out are actually the convene used for gacha pulls normally. So they're specifically aimed at the rover? No wonder the achievement for killing 20 chest mimics is called Brand of the Greedy.
I didn't know that they got literally... I guess I never paid attention to the animations enough to know that they would self-destruct like that.
A reference to Dark Souls, specifically the grotesque helmet of the same name. Interestingly, not all chest mimics disguise themselves as treasure chests. Some will openly scatter coins right on the streets. Another low-health mechanism is Nimbus Wraith.
Oh, we all know about this one.
When its health is critically low, it lets out cry and departs sadly, healing us once before leaving, almost like offering a peace offering. It's absolutely adorable. For me, the most surprising low-health mechanism has to be the Questless Knight. When its health is full, it summons an ally to battle side by side. Simultaneously, it brandishes 3 swords, presenting you with the option to pick one. If the ally selects the light sword, the Questless Knight will wield the dark sword and gain a new skill, Energy Edge. If the ally takes the dark sword, the Questless Knight will wield the light sword and unleash that damnable fast-slow blade cycle. Now at this point, some viewers in chat might ask, "Streamer, got any more OP weapon recommendations?" Absolutely, my dude. That would be the 3rd sword, Thunder Sword.
I had no idea they would choose up to 3 different ones. Wait, this is crazy to have on a mob enemy.
When the Questless Knight's HP drops...
Usually I kill these too fast to recognize that they actually have different movesets.
...drops below 50%, it activates its low health mechanism and gains Thunder Enchantment. At this phase, it unlocks an expanded array of attack patterns, like launching 3 aerial sword waves followed by a...
Hey, yo, can we get a Questless Knight hologram?
...cataclysmic thunderstorm. Or sometimes it'll attack with both...
Why have I never seen these animations before? They put in so much work into this shit, but like low-key, it's better than like some of the boss movesets. Unk ain't paying attention to the game. No, I killed them too fast. Because the only place you find these are like in the overworld.
The light and dark swords in a synchronized thrust combo. Every basic strike now summons lightning bolts. There's two types: instant strikes that zap immediately, and delayed ones that hit half a beat later. They really put the whole fast, slow rhythm game in the lightning too. Or it might suddenly summon two mirror images to pincer attack you out of nowhere. Then immediately chain into dual sword energy slashes. But the real insanity is this hat trick mechanic. It deploys explosive hat traps around your position.
Check his PC. Does he have a different client than me? Yo, whoever made this has a different client than I do. Yeah, nah, no one's ever seen this shit before.
At this time, your different choices will trigger different special effects. Option 1, if you hit the glowing hat, you'll disable the trap and deal posture damage to the knight. Option 2, if you do nothing, the hat will transform into a phantom and charge towards you, depleting your health. Option 3, if you accidentally attack the wrong hat, not only will a phantom lunge at you, but also a flurry of lightning strikes will be triggered. So, did I anger the celestial balance? It's hard to imagine such lavishly designed attack modules would come from a common enemy. Additionally, this knight standing at the cliff edge of a broken bridge actually pays tribute to the Crucible Knight from Elden Ring. Now let's check out the equally refined Abyssal family. For instance, here we can see Abyssal Mercator and Abyssal Gladius.
Well, I just know these two are an absolute dickheads in WuWa. That's what I know.
The differences between them are not only in their appearances, but also in their attack habits. For example, Abyssal Mercator prefers to deal damage with spells, while Abyssal Gladius likes close combat. Though they share many action modules, they actually also have some exclusive skills. Abyssal Gladius can use a backward step followed by a thrust, or a backward step connected with an ice spike attack.
Okay.
While Abyssal Mercator can use a unique ice laser. However, the laser sets too high, so it can't hit the little girl. Sometimes it even plays the violin during the battle. People who don't know might think that some wandering bard is casting buffs on its allies. And Abyssal Patricia.
I'm sorry, bro. This is actually helpful. Like, is this actually a thing? Like, there's no way this is actually a thing, right?
Some wandering bard is casting buffs on its allies, and Abyssal Patricius combines all the characteristics of the two kinds mentioned above, and it also has additional skills, such as the dual-wielding style and an aerial downward slash. Even its normal attacks can keep you guessing. Sometimes it swings twice, sometimes it follows up with a third strike.
It's fucking Margit!
On a related note, the elegance shines through
Elden
their
Ring
idle animations too. For instance, they might strike a ladylike reclining pose or perform a refined dance for their teddy bears. And when you encounter them in battle, they'll even bow courteously before crossing blades with you. Of course, you can exploit this recovery window to unload a full combo on them. Observing Vitrium Dancer proves far more convenient.
Maybe that's why I've never seen their moveset. They would always like bow to me to like start combat, and then I would proceed to like one-shot them during the animation. So that's probably why I never noticed any of these.
Within the city, you can directly interact with it to view its numerous idle animations. When engaging it in combat, it might occasionally pace elegantly with you during the duel. If its dagger gets plunged into the ground, it will trigger an explosion moment.
I actually know this boss's moveset because there was like one challenge in Rinasida where you had to like parry this dude like 3 times, and it only had like one parryable attack. So I ended up seeing like way too much of this guy's moveset.
Moments later. Successfully parrying its attacks will shatter
It's only that one.
its blade, forcing it into a second phase where it gains new upward slashes and wide sweeps. Alongside projectile dagger throws, these mechanics might have gone completely unnoticed, as most players would obliterate it too quickly to ever witness this phase transition. When it comes to phase transitions, Laurelai's second form truly unleashes spectacle overload.
I've also never seen this second form either.
Upon triggering a blade break knockdown, she dramatically discards her veil. Her legs become ensnared by thorny vines, while the battlefield swirls with a raging, aqueous maelstrom. Her entire moveset evolves into devastating new patterns. Meteor showers.
I think I saw this one time in a hologram.
And she conjures a green bubble to heal.
You can pick those up. You can steal her bubbles. You can steal her fucking health packs. Do keep that in mind, guys. If you are fighting her in any circumstance, you can just fucking take them.
However, you can destroy this bubble to prevent her from healing.
No,
What's
just pick
more,
them up.
You can even absorb
there
the
we go.
bubble before she does.
There we go.
And then the health recovery bug will take effect on the player. In addition, her attack recoveries unexpectedly morph into that signature ladylike reclining pose, or she'll emerge from aquatic portals chanting haunting melodies mid-combo. Now, should Laurelai fail to materialize, simply take a seat on the chair at the entrance, and this will trigger the boss battle.
Okay, everyone knows this
Ritualistic
one.
absurdity intensifies. After talking about the low health mechanism and the second form, I have to mention another interesting design: the combination mechanism. Chop Chop Leftless, Chop Chop Rightless, and Chop Chop Headless are 3 different kinds of enemies. When they are together, they can form Exodia. The attack module of Chop Chop is also quite interesting. For example, its long-range skill can be parried. Once you succeed in parrying it, the eye bead will spin around. Its close combat attacks can also be parried, but it will trigger another reaction. Chop Chop Rightless thinks Chop Chop Headless is too weak and will directly flick it on the head. Is this an internal conflict? In fact, Chop Chop can also parry your attacks. When it sets up a shield, if you attack it, you will be counterattacked.
Why have I never seen Chop Chop's parry before? Wait, I have never been parried by a Chop Chop ever in my life. I've been parried by, like, the golem bosses, 1,000,000%. But this shit? I feel you gotta wait like 20 minutes for bro to use this.
But if you stand still, it will curiously stick its head out. In addition, when Chop Chop uses Spinning Rush, it will make itself dizzy. The grabbing skill can also be divided into 2 types. One is being grabbed by Chop Chop Rightless. In this case, it will spray a Havoc laser at you and taunt you by supporting its forehead. The other type is being grabbed by Chop Chop Leftless, after which it will spray a Spectro laser at you. At this moment, the taunt is covering its forehead with Chop Chop Leftless. However, if it fails to grab you with either hand, it will display a disappointed expression. As for Chop Chop Headless, when it is separated from 2 hands, they will have their
yeah, that grab move is definitely one of the most annoying moves that they have, because you're just like, you'll lose all your inputs for like 5 or 6 seconds.
own independent movement modules. For example, the hands usually like to twist their butts to taunt the player. Their attacks include flicking the player on the head. Even their running posture always reminds me of some not-so-pleasant
How does a hand have a butt?
memories. When you dodge its powerful punch, it will scratch its head with its thumb in confusion. By the way, won't its thumb get dislocated like that? The most outrageous thing is that when I was playing, I encountered a Chop Chop Rightless that was spinning around me like crazy. When Chop Chop Headless is all alone, it has a new skill of triple star shooting and winking. Incidentally, when we kill a sufficient number of Chop Chops, we can also achieve the achievements of having the bullet trajectory deviate to the left and to the right. Even in the achievements, they are given names using English homophones. They are respectively head, left, and right, which refer to the left hand and the right hand. When it comes to the combination mechanism, Cuddle Wuddle and Diggy Duggy can also use a combined move.
I know a lot of people are saying this video is AI, and or the video's voice is AI. This is the thing. I think that this guy is a Chinese content creator, and the alternative is that they just don't make this video, because this gameplay is straight up 1,000,000% recorded on the CN servers. They wrote out like a whole ass script for it, and they individually recorded all of these different interactions. And I'm pretty sure they have a Chinese version where they just like voice it themselves. So yeah, I can't really fault the AI too much, because it's clearly translated because they're saying shit like attack modules. I don't think it's AI written at all. I'm pretty sure it's just translated. And so yeah, the video itself is very high quality.
In fact, the skills released by different combinations are also different. For example, Diggy Duggy will throw stones. Lottie Lost will launch waves.
Bro, fuck this team up
Hocus
move.
Pocus will launch stars.
Wait, what? Wait.
Moreover, the 3 types of damage are also different, namely physical damage, spectro damage, and havoc damage. Speaking of which, Lottie Lost
Fucking Harry Potter looking motherfucker on top of the Cuddle Wuddle
also has a very cute action during the battle. That is, she will protect her head with a book and shiver in fear. You can even witness the bullying.
No, 看看，不要！我他妈来了！
It can be It can be seen that the puppets have a good relationship. Sometimes you can even see the 4 little ones sitting together and scratching their heads by the roadside.
Can we, like, make it so that I don't have to kill these guys when I'm, like, farming in the overworld? Like, I legitimately actually feel awful every single time I need to kill a group of puppets to farm echoes. Straight up, like, these are my least favorite types of enemies to farm in the overworld.
This kind of cute scene always reminds me of We Bare Bears. Adorable. The idle actions of the puppets are not just limited to scratching their heads. When Diggy Duggy is digging, there are 2 possible outcomes. One is that there is no gain. The other is that it hits the rare. Or even keeps hitting the rare. Just like how lucky you are watching this.
Get that shit out of my face.
The alternate skin of Diggy Duggy isn't just a simple color change. There are also modifications to the model. For example, it wears heat-resistant gloves, and the tools in its pocket have been replaced with tableware, and the special effects
it's a bougie Diggy Duggy
have been reworked. This is the original version. And this is the skin.
Damn, he kind of pops off.
The promotional video of the pizza collaboration has been updated on the display screen in the city. When Hocus Pocus performs, there are 2 kinds of effects. One is that gorgeous fireworks shoot out of the hat, and the other is that the performance fails, and the fireworks explode directly inside the hat. It really knows how to perform.
Lottie Lost is still dancing, though.
Secretly digging for treasures, Hocus Pocus often takes on the role of keeping watch, and the alert range of this idle action is set very far. Just passing by will trigger a battle, so I can only record this footage from a long distance. And Cuddle Wuddle is even more interesting. When you transform into one of its kind, it can't distinguish between friend and foe and will express its confusion.
Wait.
Sometimes Cuddle Wuddle will scold Diggy Duggy, but it hardly ever scolds Lottie Lost. In its idle animation set, there is an action of scratching its claws, which actually corresponds to what's described in the copywriting. That is, it tries to frighten others with a fierce image to harvest their fear. However, it's so cute that it's out of the question to really scare anyone. My heart just did a backflip for this floof. Besides, you can also observe that the idle actions of some dolls will change over time. During the day, they will stand there and look at the scenery, and at night, they will lie down and fall fast asleep. In addition to the differences in time,
the amount of detail and attention that they put into these units, into these mobs is absolutely fucking crazy, bro. Jesus Christ. Like, somebody had to do, spent a literal 5-6 minute documentary on just what the puppet mobs do.
Doll Orchestra will also play different music depending on the changes of its members. For instance, when Diggy Duggy and Lottie Lost form a combination, only the sounds of the guitar and the accordion can be heard.
Damn, Diggy Duggy's kind of popping off.
But if the 4 little dolls gather together, all the musical instruments will be brought together, and the most complete version of this piece of music will be played. However, what you might not have noticed is that it's Cuddle Wuddle in the band that is in charge of controlling the rhythm. You can see that its feet are keeping the beat. From these intricate details, it's clear that Rinascita is embracing dynamic transformations to craft its ecosystems.
Oh, yeah.
For instance, withered trees mysteriously regain vitality as night falls, and the trees in Nimbus Sanctum will also take on a different appearance at night.
Oh, we know about this one, yeah.
The plants by
there's
the
a
river
big
that
day-night
resemble
cycle.
umbrellas will slowly open after the sun sets. And the patterns on them are quite like a smiling face. Besides, there are glowing jellyfish that only appear at night.
Oh, that's a login screen.
Or when you cross the bridge, an ancient dragon in the sky will fly over and spit at you after catching your scent.
Yeah, not if we spawn kill it first, though.
This is a clear nod to the iconic Hellkite Dragon Bridge from Souls-like games. Another bridge triggers a similar mechanic phantom archers swarm out of nowhere, raining arrows in a brutal homage to Arithil's arrow gauntlet from Dark Souls 3.
Oh, I remember this shit.
Honestly, Kuro Game must be die-hard Souls fans. During different time periods, NPCs will also say different lines. For example, Miss Margaret will say that there is an overwhelming number of orders during the daytime. But when night falls, it's all about...
于打烊了。
By the way, in the daily tasks, we will recommend an intern to work
Nice.
in the restaurant, and subsequently, she will really stay here. When you talk to her, you can even taste the dishes she has prepared. Due to her mediocre cooking skills, once our character consumes the food made by her, a debuff symbolized by a downward arrow will emerge, or may even be poisoned by the food.
I've had this happen to me. I didn't know it happened. I was wondering why my entire party was at 1 HP.
To the point of having only a sliver of health left. And as time passes, those illuminators will sit down and take a rest when they are tired from their work.
I need to do more of Renacita's daily quests. That's what this video is telling me.
The street lamps in the town will
No, after the 1 HP incident, I think that's when I stopped.
transform into the appearance of Halloween at night, and there are even 2 different styles. Moreover, ghostly shadows will emerge on the walls over time, and there are also 2 different
Ooh,
styles. for it.
spooky.
Even the windows will have some spooky happenings at night. Are you having an otherworldly party without inviting me? And what surprises me the most is that
Oh, the gay echo.
the BGM melody of the Cloud Sea actually hides an Easter egg that vividly demonstrates changes. In the story, this piece of music was once the theme song of the carnival, later banned by the clergy. When you bring this record back into circulation and play it on the phonograph in the main city district, NPCs will trigger new dialogue. They recognize this classic tune, even exclaiming, "Ah, this takes me back." If you complete
Wait,
Carlotta's
what?
companion mission, you'll find a bouquet of flowers in a corner of the Montelli family estate. This is a mourning tribute from old Duncan, who fought alongside us in the story, to his late friend, a small detail that reflects the bond between characters. There's another Easter egg about camaraderie, the line Carlotta says at her regular spot when we first meet her. "There are so many corners in the city, yet you walked into the very one where I happen to be," is actually a reference to a famous quote from the romance film Casablanca.
Of all the gin joints in all the towns in all the world, she walks into mine.
Now let's return to the animal world
Huh.
after those Easter eggs. This blue, squishy, cute creature is called Sea Bunny, and it
that's
has
a
a
crazy
real-life
reference.
counterpart in nature. When you approach it, it shyly curls up its body, only daring to pop its head out after you leave. From a gameplay mechanics perspective, it's both a gatherable material and a creature. Interacting with it lets you pluck the small flower on its back, which reappears the next day.
I feel like it doesn't like that.
But if you're a Monster Hunter player like me, killing it will also reward you with sea bunny meat. If you look closely, you'll notice the lighting fixtures on the church are octopus-shaped, though it's just a decorative design, not actual living creatures. What you might not know is that the same
Can you kill it and get both the flower and the sea bunny meat at the same time?
style fixtures on the city's bell tower house, a moving octopus. In the jungle, you may occasionally come across adorable weasels. They are extremely shy. As soon as they see people, they will immediately curl up into a ball and roll away.
Isn't that what's in Phoebe's idol?
Along the coast, we can see the creatures called bell crab. Their shells resemble bells, and their scuttling movement even triggers dang-dang sound effect. Deep in the Cloud Sea, we often see fin-like shapes emerging from the water surface. By using the gondola to adjust the view, you can see a blue sunfish hiding beneath. Could this be setting the stage for the upcoming fishing system? Speaking of which, the clumsy-shaped fish cakes sold at the restaurant are actually based on a popular foreign meme called the Sakabambaspis, whose adorable and dorky appearance has inspired countless fan creations online. Other details include crows and noble geese kept in captivity by humans,
What?
rabbits and puppies living harmoniously, white bats hanging asleep near the pilgrimage ship, 2 kittens on a date, and a single dog watching from the side, schools of manta rays swimming in the ocean, a cat frozen stiff while facing off against an owl, and giant
I had no idea there were this many animals just walking around chilling.
catfish gliding beneath the altar. These are all integral parts of this vibrant world. Of course, NPCs play a crucial role too. For example, they have an animation where they toss coins into a pool to make a wish. If you talk to a certain little girl, she'll give you her coin, which is actually the astrite used for gacha. The bank counter is a pair hands adorned with white lace, complete with a seductive action module. Next to it stands an NPC named Monet, who has been charmed, murmuring things like unbearably. Your full name might as well be Eromanga Sensei. The town also features a cute girl who casually drops trash. Additionally, some NPCs can actually sing.
Trash? Is that more ass? So whenever you talk to the kids, you end up with asteroid?
As for the two NPCs, Fratello and Fratellino, their names literally mean brother and little brother in Italian. However,
So you literally have to talk to all of the kids in Renacida to get the asteroid. Oh, jeez.
Like other NPCs, when
Only
you attack
that one?
them, they will trigger a dodge action, and there will also be accompanying dialogue lines.
你别搞我，求你了。
Even some non-speaking NPCs manage to convey a rich sense of narrative. Take the couple atop the castle, for example. They're caught in a romantic embrace, lost in their own world. In the restaurant, young lovers share intimate moments, and if you look closely, there's a secret admirer hiding behind a pillar.
Come on, man. So we had the Sneeko dog, and now we got the Sneeko NPC.
Eyes fixed on their crush. It's like a living painting. The grocery merchants are no longer limited to human characters. Instead, a large gondola is used to sell goods. And there is also a medium-sized gondola specifically for transporting fruits. Even the small gondola we normally ride has a neat detail. When using the waterfall climb ability, flowing water effects cascade down of the screen. When it comes to special effects, the teleportation portal in the Soundless Zone is also ingeniously designed. When we move away from it, the portal will gradually shatter and collapse. And
Okay,
when
we all know
approach
about that. We
it
know
will
about those
slowly
when it comes to the
restore and
Tassin fields.
reconstruct. As I mentioned before, this portal actually teleports us underground, sharing the same design concept as the time-space shuttle in Titanfall 2. Now, by exploiting glitches, we can find that the Soundless Zone is indeed modeled underground, and this circular sphere is the proof.
So that's why there's a little bit of lag whenever I go into these.
There is also a small detail in the UI's special effects.
So they're
of
literally
echoes.
portals.
Since Sentry Construct has a charging effect, there will be a circle of energy ripples around its icon. Although Sentry Construct is glacial, when characters of different attributes wear it, the color of these ripples is different. For example, when worn by Sanwa, the color of the ripples is blue, while when worn by Rover Havoc, it is purple. There is also an ingenious design that is the sign of the mask shop. This huge human face, upon careful observation, you will find that it
Yeah, but who the fuck is gonna be wearing the Sentry Construct on a non-glacial unit?
can actually move. The musical notes floating beside it are not just simple visual effects. In fact, in Wuthering Waves, a refined melody has been built into this sign. By the way, this human figure actually has 4 faces in total. On the left, right, middle, and back. It's quite artistic. Now, considering all these details we've covered, does it feel like you're getting so much more out of the game? Honestly, the wonder these thoughtful designs bring is far more than just extra content. It's the kind of magic that
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Yeah, I mean, it's just... The thing is that I feel like a lot of people, half of it is like a burnout from like overall exploration experience as a whole. A lot of people are really focused on like completing stuff like as fast as possible. Just like, you know, getting through 100%ing the map, doing all of that stuff. And so it's like, I feel like it's really easy to miss all of these like smaller details when you're going ahead and you're just going from like objective to objective. Like, the example that I'll just use, right, is like being over here, right? And then instead of like actually going around and looking at stuff, you're just like tracking everything, going from like spot to spot, killing and wiping camps as fast as possible to like unlock the chests. And you won't be able to see any of this stuff, right? But you have to remember there's also like a good part of the populace that's like giga casual. And I feel like that giga casual part of the population is going to be the stuff that actually gets to like witness and experience some of this stuff firsthand. So yeah.
that makes every corner of the world feel worth exploring. I recall that a few years ago, when The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and Red Dead Redemption 2 were released,
Red Dead.
I was deeply impressed by those small and interesting Easter eggs that may seem useless. For example, in The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, the animals' eyes will glow at night. And in Red Dead Redemption 2, the animals will defecate anywhere.
That's the one thing you decided to bring up.
These attentive designs have nothing to do with the gameplay and playability, although they may seem
Now you're gonna ask for the echoes to start shitting everywhere too, aren't you?
like a waste of resources, they are actually a very important part of constructing an open world. They are the finishing touch that makes this world self-consistent and believable, and they are also one of the sources of our immersion. The exquisitely crafted details should not be ignored, and this is true for any game.
I guess this is the thing, right? Unless it's literally time-limited content, which no exploration in the game is, I don't know. I legitimately don't think there's any time-limited exploration content in this game. You can take it at any pace you want. And so, it turns out, all these people making fun of me, right, for not having 100% exploration, yeah, that's just me taking my time on content that's not time-limited. It's like, oh, he's not a true curlbot. Oh, he truly doesn't play this game because he's not at 100%. Oh, no, that just means I'm taking my time and enjoying it, bucko. Unlike you, who spends more time in this menu than actually looking at the world. Yeah, don't fucking play. This was your exploration experience. All you did was look at this shit. You just rushed 100% so you could get your ass right. Guess what I do? I just pay $5. And so I don't feel the need to rush this shit. Yeah, all he did was 75 to get the tuners. That's it. Yeah, so maybe it is a good idea to take some of your time when it comes to this sort of stuff because it's not going anywhere. Are you losing anything by not rushing it?
That's why, in the early version of Wuthering Waves, I started to create a video themed around the animal world just to share these interesting bits and pieces with everyone. Despite the mediocre view count, the enthusiastic response in the comments section made me realize that there are actually quite a few players who are delighted by.
So yeah, you can clearly tell by now this guy's from CN.
By those seemingly insignificant little details. This served as an opportunity for me to decide to create more works. I'm Blurred, a new content creator. Although this inventory is filled with content, and the production cycle has lasted for half a month, the details I've presented are still just the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, it took the dude a long fucking time to compile all this, and considering how in-depth he was about all these different encounters, I can't even imagine how long it took to get all this footage. This was an amazing fucking video, for sure.
This game. Let's uncover more mysteries together in the future. I hope to see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I gotta give this one a 10 out of 10. And yeah, I understand that this is like a whole like AI voice thing. Guys, this is 1,000,000% some of the most original content I've ever seen. And he's just Chinese, so he probably can't speak English very well. So I'm not gonna hold that against him. Great stuff, awesome stuff. You guys should definitely check out his channel for more of this. This is what AI generally should be used for, in my opinion, if it's going to get used, so that there can be like a gap bridged between like different communities, right? And so I'm not going to hold it against him at all. But yeah, if you like know English and you're using an AI voice, then what's the fucking point, right? If you know English and you speak it, what's the point of fucking using it? That's the reality over here. So with that, let me know what you all think. Peace.